All right, we are live, and Zoom is doing its thing to push us through to where everybody else can see us. So it should be getting caught up right about now.
Fly away hair. Okay, there we go. Yep. And I can see us on Facebook. Okay, great. Hello, hello.
All right. So you got your. Oops.
Hello, hello.
Okay, I have that.
Let me try. You know what? I'm going to move this here and move the camera more in front of me. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, there we go. My water bottle's holding up my camera, so hopefully it doesn't decide it's going to fall over. If you are chatting with us today, if you are here, drop a little comment in the chat. Hello, everyone. There we go.
Yeah, let's get all the things out of the way. Where is invite link? Okay, so I put the Zoom link inside the chat. So did you, since I don't know really what we're talking about today, I know a few things that we're probably, go over, but did you see that last little link that I sent you? I don't know, about 30 minutes or so ago.
No, probably not. I was cooking my lunch.
You've created a Chat-GPT monster.
Oh, no. What was the link?
It was the link to a Chat-GPT prompt and its answer to me regarding an outline of things that we could talk about.
Yeah. Good.
It was kind of fun. So we can look at that later.
Okay, cool.
Hi, Gig. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Glad to have you back.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Welcome. Can you pull that up on the screen?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me. Okay.
So if you're just tuning in, guys, Cheryl's about to, or she's attempting to pull up a Chat-GPT prompt. And we're going to see if we can share it here with you guys.
Got it.
Right now. Oh, nice. Yep. All right, so let me pinch out because I can't see. Give me an outline. Discuss entrepreneur, small business tools. That's awesome. So
I love that it entitled, I love that it titled it Empower Her Women in Business.
I love it.
Not that we're definitely not a women only type call or group. It's all about business. It's all about total inclusivity. Is that the word?
Yep.
Being inclusive of everyone, everywhere, no matter where you are.
I love this.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I think I might have to go put Joey in his crate in a minute. But it just it was a very simple one time run it and just see what it did kind of thing. And this is what it put out, and then we could, tweak or whatever from there. So as you can see, I've been playing with some things on the side.
Hold on, let me zoom back out. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like a few minutes ago I tried let's see, let me see if I can Yeah. Give me some business ideas that I can start now to generate $1,000 USD per month within a month.
Nice.
And so it went through a few different things, and then I asked it to expand on a couple of
Yep.
the ideas. And then I asked it to expand on like more of my niche, like into Excel spreadsheets and things like that. So it's still very high level. I want to Max is here. I want
Hey.
to I want to really dig into this
Yeah.
because there's some things that I don't want to bring up right now,
Okay.
or at least not in public.
Okay.
That I really would like to make that happen. I want to pick one
Mm-hmm.
and, like, say starting August 1st, do what it tells me to do for a month and see if I can generate $1,000 in a month from this new thing.
Yeah. That's really good. I can send you, if you don't want it to be public, that's fine. I will send you the prompts because that's, I have one video on it on my YouTube that's what my plan is, to have ChatGPT bail me out of business.
Right.
But
I know that you're doing that. Right.
yep, it's very specific because you're going to want to, there are some key things you're going to want to put in there to expand it really well. You want to really tell it more about you, your background. Like, I'm talking paragraphs, not just,
Okay.
I live in X, I'm this age. Like, you really want to hit demographics, who your customer avatar is, what are their interests, what other things are they looking up online. So it's a lot. There's a lot that you can do that will really like pinpoint it down.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, no, I mean, as far as talking about the business, I want to talk about that here in this space on social media. I definitely want to talk about that, and reaching $1,000 in a month, I don't think is I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities.
No.
To do it in a month might be a bit of a stretch. I don't know yet,
Okay.
but I really think that I really like the idea of it. And I figure if I could, when I'm just going to change my words here, when I make this happen and build a revenue stream of $1,000 a month and a month, then that obviously can grow.
Right. So a lot of these, I'm looking at this, a couple of them, I mean, you can do it in a day.
Are you looking on this, on my, what I'm sharing?
Yeah. So I'm just looking, it depends on your price point, obviously. So like cleaning business, I would probably do more cleaning arbitrage. Remember, you want to work on your business, not in your business. So if you can expand it, not saying that this is what you want to do, but just to give some people who are listening some ideas. If you would want to expand it, you would build teams who would do this so that they could hit, 10 houses at a time. Or I probably wouldn't even do houses. I would do businesses.
Right.
I focus. That would just immediately blow you the $1,000 out of the water.
So personally, I was focusing on the top two things, which was the online tutoring or teaching and the freelance services.
Yep. Oh, the freelance services. Oh, you know what? You sent me something about Fiverr, and we haven't talked about Fiverr. I worked on Fiverr for several years, made thousands of dollars on Fiverr, had a lot of customers, got some social media manager positions from people on Fiverr, had close to 400 orders on Fiverr. I did a job for someone. So for Fiverr, you put what you need for each gig. So I was always very specific because I don't want to have to ask a million questions. I want to have what I need. This client did not fill it out. I did the best I could. I went to their website, pulled their colors, tried to, keep everything like their brand. Did the job for them. They came back on the very last day. So you submit your work and then they have, I think it's 4 days to come back and say yay or nay, and then they'll release your money. Came back on the very last day, said, I need you to change all of the colors. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. You didn't fill the paperwork out in the beginning. And in the gig, it very clearly says you have to fill this out or I am going to take kind of creative control over, and it, fit their brand, and they said, okay, well, I want a refund. And I said, no. And they said, well, can you redo it? And I said, I'm not going to do it for free. Like, my time is worth money and I cannot do it for free. They reported me and Fiverr shut my 3-year-old account down. That was my first violation. It was a $15 gig. I went back and forth with customer service about, you can even read in my gig, it says you have to fill this, that out. They did not do it. This is their brand colors. This is what I provided them. It's the same hex code, everything. And the last email that I got from them, so something said, take your money out. So I took all my money out. Last email said that if there was any money pending, I was not going to be able to withdraw it, and that I was not able to contact customer service about it anymore. That was it. My account is closed. I had close to 400 5-star reviews. One complaint. At least 3 years I worked with Fiverr. One of the gigs that I provided was the #1 gig when you searched this particular thing that I offered. The #1 gig.
That's crazy.
So I don't deal with Fiverr anymore. I was salty. I was very salty about it. It was around the same time that Facebook shut down my monetization for me saying that I was going to steal someone's couch, a friend's couch, one of my.
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
And they shut down my monetization. It was like 3 weeks after that. So I was beside myself, to say the least. So I don't deal with Fiverr anymore. It is a great place if you need to get cheap work done, but that's a lot of the stuff is just going to be cheap work. It's better just to go with someone maybe even a little bit more expensive and just pay the money, because I personally will never give Fiverr another dime of my money. I mean,
I won't now either.
Like dollars, I think what it was, because the money gets released to you staggered. Yeah, never again. Years and years. That's the only bad review I had.
That's nuts.
Yep. And you know what? Last time I checked, so this was probably 3 months ago. That person, it was a drop shipping website. They don't even have any sales. They haven't done any revenue, nothing. I mean, I genuinely could have helped them if they would have just kind of understood. You can't expect people to work for free. You have to follow directions.
See, I don't know. I mean, hindsight being what it is, you probably would feel the same way at this point. If you don't fill out the papers, I'm not going to accept the work.
And that's where I messed up. I should have said nope and canceled their order right away. That's what I should have done. But, things happen for a reason, so, but that's my experience with Fiverr.
I am. So a lot of people that are, I guess I better look back over here at the chat. Ha, ha, ha,
yeah.
Ha.
Oh, right. Deborah says, hi. So, we got off track. So back to the freelancing. Now there are other things. You can do it on Upwork. You can do word of mouth. You can do it on Facebook Marketplace. You can advertise in the groups, but there are a lot of ways to quickly make you can get a retainer and make $1,000 in a day. Like I said, from, okay, I'm going to do this work for you for the next 2 months. I need this retainer up front to do this freelance work. And there you go.
And so I think that I think that's expected. It's hard. It's been hard for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's been my own issue for not asking. It's not been that the client has
Right.
balked at it. I've
Right.
just been, well, I don't want, I haven't done any work yet. I don't want to ask for it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better about that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all a growth thing.
It is.
Let's see. Dawn is listening. She's outsourcing. Max jumped in the chat with us. So Max asked to be part of the experiment. I'm not sure how I would. I mean, if you want to come up with your own.
Yeah, Max, come up with your own. Come back, maybe not next week, because next week we have a guest, the week after, but that'll give you 2 weeks to really think about something. And then we can help you tweak it and come up with a plan.
Yeah.
I've been kind of working on it. Ever since you guys told Chat-GPT, you got me hooked now.
Good.
Yeah, he left our call, went down a rabbit hole and paid for 4.0.
Good.
Immediately.
Are you
So
utilizing?
I found another trick to do was the same thing you guys are doing, and then you asked it if you see any like holes or failures in your plans for ahead
Absolutely.
of time. And that's been working out pretty good.
Good.
And then using it for research and stuff too, it's been wonderful. I put my whole menu thing I was talking about together. Oh, heads up, you don't have access to current information if you pay for it. It's still up to 2021.
Really?
You just get a better system.
Okay. Well, yeah, that would be a problem then.
Because it tells you at the beginning of certain answers that time based that as far as my update is September 2021. So it gives you the same one as the other one. But it's been extremely helpful. I think in like 5 or 6 hours, I put together a whole new menu. I made it separated by culinary sections,
Okay.
by type of meat, interchangeable sides. Like it's crazy. So like you can have the whole thing just together, or you can have it so you can pick and choose how you want to put it together by what you have the groceries. So like me and ChatGPT became best friends on that day.
Oh, good. I'd love to hear. That's excellent. I'm really happy that it's working out well. I mean, it's great. I mean, just to think about that, because I think that a lot of people get stuck on, oh, well, it's not for me. It's for everyone.
And I noticed that it's like I was listening to a YouTube and I had all these ideas, and then I sat down and I went to type something out, and then I just got paralyzed. Like I couldn't think of what I wanted to type out. I couldn't word it correctly. So one of the things that you have to do, and Dawn, bless her heart, she was talking about not coming back because she didn't want to go down the AI rabbit hole and then not do what she was supposed to be doing. So I don't spend a lot of time playing with it. I need to dedicate more time to play with it. However, we talk about prompt this and prompt that, and what you really need to do is just treat it like it's a friend of yours and it's the sounding board.
Yeah.
Like, this is your friend that is the sounding board, and they're not going to interrupt you when you're talking.
Right.
So if you have to, record yourself, record the thought into, like what's it called when you a transcriber, when you're voice to text. So do a voice to text and then tweak what you said and then stick that in the Chat GPT, and it's going to give you something.
Mhm.
And when it gives you something, then you can go back and say, okay, expand on this or change this or whatever. And that's the fun part of it.
It is. Yeah, it definitely is.
It's funny how the universe works, because like that's exactly what I was working on doing. If you guys can, I was like, I can't wait to talk to you guys Tuesday, because give me any more ideas for that. Because I was trying to do it with the Google Assistant, but Google Assistant stops like after every phrase, so that didn't really
Oh yeah,
work
that's
out
annoying.
too well.
Yeah.
But like, and then I was asking the thing, and I don't. People talk a lot about prompts, but like, I've seen ways to use them, but I don't really use them. It seems to be pretty. Oh, one of the questions I asked it was, how are you answering? What's the levels that you're answering at? And it was saying by the words that I use and the vernacular I use is the level of education and consistency that comes back to answer at, which I thought was very interesting.
That's pretty
So
cool.
So then you can ask it a question, and then you can tell it to tell you on different levels. So you can ask it a question and say like, how would I explain this to a graduate student, or how would I explain it to a fifth grader? And it'll give you an answer at different levels. So like I think people are kind of hesitant because I think they think of prompts more of like coding, but like I literally just ask it questions, and sometimes I was doing stuff for the business, and I was writing like thank you cards, and what if I misshipped the item and stuff like that. And like one of the things I really liked, it asked me the question. They wrote the thing out, and then it said like, "Oh, I'm sorry that I shipped this thing out," but I was like, "Don't put the blame on me. I want to be ambiguous about it." And then it wrote me again the thing, what I wanted. I was like throw emojis in it, which I was thinking might not be something they could do. I had no problem with that. Threw the emojis in. And the only thing that I see that has a problem with sometimes is calculating time, but not even like, it's not even that bad. It just doesn't give you like 2 hours, 12 minutes. It'd be like 2 hours, 0.22 minutes.
Okay.
But as far as that seems to be the only thing I put it. And I know us giving it feedback helps it, but I don't know if it helps it as a general population, or if it helps you specifically learn more to your style of what you're doing.
Good point.
Yeah, that's great. That's all. Those are some good tips, Max. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, it's a whole thing. The things that it can open up, like when Max first started talking about a menu, like he built out a whole menu and had it divided up by meat types and interchangeable sides and things. Speaking of which, if you're trying to get healthy, I went into Harris Teeter today. I was actually on the phone with Renee and found all kinds of refrigerated meals that, I can just go and pick up like while I'm out. I don't have to wait, have them delivered or whatever. I can just go pick up and bring them home and have them here and, try different things. Then I found a whole, like their vegetable section with the different vegetables, like to just throw in the oven or throw into the air fryer, that were already prepared and had some, some seasonings and things on it and whatnot. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. Mexican street corn. There was some, I love Brussels sprouts with some carrots and some other stuff. There was a bunch of different stuff in there. More choices than I have ever seen in any other store.
Yep.
I was thrilled.
Oh yeah. Those are some good.
Dawn says she has started looking into it, but she's put a time limit on herself. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's what you do. So you don't spend 3 hours doing that and then it cuts into your working time.
And I feel like I need to update the whole group, Renee. So, what, 2 weeks ago? This is be 3 weeks ago now.
Yep.
We talked about organization and writing notes down and the whole mushroom
Hole punch.
hole punch and the rings. And I did not do what Renee originally told me to do. I do not have an index of sorts, like this goes here and this goes there. But there's a lot of blank pages in here.
Perfect.
And I recently joined this women's group, and I downloaded one of the guides that they had, and I hole punched it and I stuck it in here. So this goes with me wherever I go. So this morning I had to go to get my tires fixed again, and I brought it with me. Now, granted, I did not do anything when I was there, but I had it.
You had it, right?
I had it. So I could have transcribed some of the notes that I've been have in here. I could have looked over, or actually done research on some of the apps that I've written down that I want to look up. I could have read the guide that I took, printed out and stuck in here. So it gives me all of everything that I was doing before in a regular notebook, flip the sheets. Now I can put it so that it's organized. I can put it in its own little section. So my first section is more of a brain dump kind of section. If I'm listening to a YouTube channel, then I can just jot notes down and then I can put them where they go. Or if I've got a bunch of stuff going on in my head, I can just dump it out there and put it where it goes.
Yep.
The other thing that I've been doing is I have my similar style a calendar, and I printed out some blank page. I mean, not printed. I just hole punched some blank pages that I put in the back of the calendar, and I have a sheet in the middle of each week. So, for example, if I was on the phone with a client, or Renee and I are talking, or I'm talking with Max, whoever, I can jot quick notes down, and then put them where they go, look them up, whatever I need to do. And it has been super helpful. That page actually stays in that week.
Okay.
So, and then if there's information on it that I want to put in my big notebook, then I transcribe the stuff over.
Nice.
But I love the fact that I can have printed materials in here as well as handwritten materials in here, and have it all organized where I want it.
Yep. Oh,
and
yeah.
It's been super, super helpful.
So helpful.
Thank you.
Is this a past episode?
Yes, 2 episodes ago. Yep. Was it 2, Cheryl? Because this would be week 3.
Yeah, I think it was 2 episodes ago.
Yep, 2 episodes ago, Cheryl was wanting to speak to an author, actually, to see how they organize their notes when they are writing a book. And we all came together as a group and suggested a planner. We had a couple people who were on, was that Kimmery, who said she uses Evernote? Every week I asked, was that Kimmery or who? It might have been Side Gig. I'm not sure, but
I think it was Side Gig.
It was Side Gig. Yep. Suggested Evernote. I said, I use a paper planner, that I also use a digital planner, but I for some things, I just really enjoy the paper. I like to use stickers and all that stuff. I mean, you can do that digitally, but I like to just do it with my hands. But anyways, and so this is week 3 of her putting that together. And it's because we are people who get ideas all day long, and it's sticky notes, and I write on the back of receipts and little pieces of paper. And then at the end of the week, you have 70 different size pieces of paper all over your house, all over the car with good ideas, but you can't keep track of all of it. And they all have something different on them. And it's just super unorganized and it's very frustrating. And then, God forbid, you have to ask someone to look something up for you. Cheryl shared last week that she had her husband go to the book to find something, and he was able to find it because she had it in one spot and he only had to turn the page. So just trying to stay organized. And that goes for your home life too. It's not, in the back of mine, I have a cleaning planner just so I can kind of keep track of everything that I've cleaned. When's the last time I changed the filters? When's the last time I did the chicken coop? Just stuff that you don't do all of the time, but it needs to be done, but you'll forget it. You'll forget. You will,
Right.
You'll forget. Yeah.
My sticky notes have not gone away.
And that's not bad. There's time and place for them. Absolutely.
I actually have in one of my sections in here, I think I have too many sections right now. I think I need to reduce. But in one of my sections right here, and I don't want to hold it up too long, because it's an idea thing that I got going on. But I wrote out the goals for that because goals can change. So I put the goals on a sticky note and stuck the goals on the page from the sticky note so that as I'm fleshing it out, if my goals change, then I can just rewrite the goals and put a new sticky note instead of rewriting the whole page. And this has been total game changer. I am freaking digging it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Max, were you about to say something?
Yeah, but I forgot. It was something about the plan. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm using Chat-GPT for stuff like that too, back and forth, because when I kind of started this whole journey doing YouTube stuff and stuff like that, I was thinking about doing couponing because I just wanted to find a way to help myself and help other people. So the thought was to learn how to save money first and learn about making money after. And as I was doing the stuff for the couponing, I really understood that the whole thing with people that really coupon is that you need to understand your whole year's budget. So you can basically buy and strike when the iron's hot.
Yep.
So I was thinking of using ChatGPT is like figuring stuff out like that. Like if you can go through a week or 2 weeks and kind of see toilet paper, how much toilet paper you use, then you can because my thought before was to figure it out over a year's time, basically, or a month's time, how long it is. But now with this, you can kind of reverse engineer it and figure out all the stuff you use on a regular basis, and then know the target you have, so you can strike for the deals your best. And then another thing I found out, I would take information from my spreadsheets, because I do a lot of spreadsheets, even out of docs, because that's why this works good for me, because I've been already detailing so much information myself, so I can just enter that into the ChatGPT.
That's
And
good.
it's amazing because you can, I took my whole goal list and then I put it in there, and it's just oh, it seems like you have a comprehensive goal list. And then I asked, what do you think is wrong with this? And you can add to it. It can literally take, like you said, when you put paragraphs in it, it has so much more information to go out over it that it can give you a more detailed plan or answer or whatever you're looking for.
Absolutely. Yep. Oh yeah.
Great. That's great. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Last week we touched on Bard, and I believe that was Side Gig who gave us the rundown just about how terrible it was. So I decided to not even, even though I was only going to dedicate maybe 45 minutes in a week to it, I chose something else to do in that 45 minutes. So
okay, so now I got a new one to throw out. Well,
okay.
How about Claude? Has anybody here that's listening tried Claude?
How do you spell it?
CLAUDE. Claude AI.
Claude 2 just came out, and it's by Anthropic AI chatbot. How is it compared? Here's an article. How is it compared to Chat-GPT and Google Bard? Okay. Okay, wow. All right.
One of the ladies in the ladies group that we're a part of was saying that she's liking Claude so much. Hey Kimmery, welcome. Glad to see you back.
Hey.
She likes Claude so much that she's considering a divorce from Chatty, which is ChatGPT.
Yep.
And I said, so then Claude is currently your side piece?
Oh, that's funny.
But she's having a ball with Claude. Some of the things that I've seen about Claude is that he's a bit easier to talk to.
Okay.
So because it's been given a male name, Claude, I'm saying that he's a he. But,
right.
All right. So ChatGPT, how do you feel? Is ChatGPT a male or a female?
Just an AI bot.
Good one.
My enemy one day, who knows? Maybe they'll take over the world, but Claude seems like a more personable person, a man, I suppose, I guess is what it seems like. Yeah. Oh, now this is interesting. I'm trying to scan this and stay present with this, but this kind of goes with what we're talking about. So this person gave this to Claude. You guys ready for this? And this goes for anyone on this call. This is not business related. You have $1,500 in your bank account. Your monthly salary is $3,000. You owe card A $2,500, has a 23% APR with a $500 minimum payment. Card B, $1,250 balance, 25% APR, $125 minimum payment. Card C, $2,450 balance, 12% APR, $245 minimum balance. Card D, $1,500 balance, 22.4 APR, $50 minimum payment. He gave a recommendation plan. Number one. Cheryl, this is debt shredder. Pay the minimum payments on all the cards to avoid late fees. That's 500 plus 125 plus 245 plus 50 equals 920. Use the remaining 1,500 minus 920, which is your debt that you have, equals 580 to pay off much of card B as possible. It tells you what card to pay first, since it has the highest interest rate. This will leave you 1,250 minus 580 equals 670 still owed on card B. Next month, when you get your $3,000 salary, first pay your minimums, 920, then put any remaining balance towards paying off card B fully. There's more. Assuming you don't use the cards again next month, and then it gives how much your balance is for A, B, C, D. Then, in terms of priority, I recommend card B, card A, card D, then card C, because the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. So avoid using card C because it's the lowest interest rate, and put most of your money to card B to pay it off quickly, which is the highest interest rate. What in the world? They did the same thing for Chat-GPT, but it does not break it. It gives you balance, and then it says that you will have overpayment. It only gives you 4 bullet points. What in the world? And then Bard was quite generic, is what it says. Oh, Bard.
I was going to say I did the same thing with that, but I asked a little different question, and
the way you described that Claude, is it?
Mhm.
It
Yes.
sounds way more detailed
Way,
and interpersonal.
way better. In fact, it says ChatGPT 3.5 asked them to pay more money than they actually had available. So it wasn't even correct, which is a problem. Max, go ahead and do this for Claude with the information, because I would love to know, because you already did this. You already did it and saw that your results were not good. Please let us know, because yeah, someone wrote this, and this article that I'm reading is on Yahoo News. I would love to hear it firsthand from you.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too, because I thought the reason, because the same thing I said earlier, I copied it, I had it in a spreadsheet and I copied and put in it. So I thought maybe the reason is because I did that. But now what you said, like I got similar answer. I don't think that really had to do with it at all.
Yep, it says they asked to overpay. So please let us know.
So Max, put it into Claude, and it's claude.ai. So put it into Claude exactly, like copy and paste it from Chat-GPT over into Claude, exactly the way, word for word, exactly what you did into Chat-GPT. And then next chance we get, I would love to compare and contrast your answers. Or why don't you do a video on it, and then you can share it with us?
Oh,
You got a YouTube too.
you do have a YouTube. You do. You do. And that would be that's funny, because a lot of my videos that come up, recommended videos, are all on Chat-GPT. I have not seen one on claude.ai. Not saying they're not out there. They are. The algorithm just hasn't picked up that I'm interested yet, but I would like to see the difference for sure. Wow.
Well, it looks like we have a new AI to play with over the next week or two.
Yep.
Now I want to do the same thing. I want to take some of the more important prompts or questions, whatever you want to say, that I put into Chat-GPT, put them into Claude, and see what answers I get.
You want to hear this?
Yes.
At the bottom of the website, it says they are partnered with Quora, Slack, Notion, and Zoom.
Oh, I wonder if that's so. Zoom has, yep. Zoom has an AI note taker that's by Fathom. And the women's group, one of the videos they were talking about was Fathom. Now I'd like to know, I tried it within Zoom. Okay. What it does is within Zoom, it creates another persona within the chat window.
Okay.
So it looks like there's another person in here. And what it does is it listens to the people talking, and it transcribes
what
all of the information, everything that's said. It transcribes everything that's said. So when you get done with the meeting, you didn't have to take a single note.
Oh my goodness.
Now, it is also integrates with some of the things that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was speaking with a client, when I got done, I could have the notes, I could have it do a summary of my notes and have it put it into that client's file. I don't have to actually do anything.
Yep.
Just hold the meeting.
Yep. So I think it's important, because this is where a lot of people have an issue with all this AI stuff, because where do people fall who do clerical jobs? If I am a note taker, if I am a secretary, if I am someone's assistant and I sit in on their business meetings and take notes, why would you need me? You could just save the $40,000 or $50,000 a year that you pay me and literally use AI that is available to you at any time, literally anywhere. So I think it's important for us to touch on that, because that's, you know, and people have been saying that about MidJourney. Oh, MidJourney is going to put artists out of business, and travel agents are going to be put out of business, because you can get ChatGPT to write you a very extensive itinerary, especially if you feed it, this is where I want to go on this budget. These are the things I like. These are the places I don't want to go to. These are the kind of experiences I must have in this area. I mean, you can be very, very specific. So where do people who are feeling threatened by the emergence of AI, where do they fall, and what should they be concentrating on to ensure that they are still able to be employed in the next 10 years? I don't think that's going to be a problem right now, but a couple years, if I'm a CEO and I pay someone, especially if my assistant gets on my nerves, you know, or they're messing up, I might just try out the AI. Maybe I want to work in my office until 11 o'clock at night and they're not there. Guess who's going to be there?
Right.
Guess who's going to be there? They may not be able to run out and get me a hot coffee, but guess who's going to get the work done? Probably right. Not at first. I might have to train it a little bit, but you can't say you're going to train, you know, a person. People get uppity about that kind of stuff, but you can say, oh, I'm training my AI to really listen to me and do what I want it to do. And be able to bounce ideas. I think that's the key thing. Not only is this, you know, whatever system, Claude, okay, I'll name mine Maud. I'm going to have an assistant named Maud. I train Maud to take my notes, do all of the things that I want them to do, make spreadsheets. But if I have a problem or I'm stuck, or even as Max said, I can say, where are the holes in this idea? Where are the holes in this proposal? And it will actually give me good answers back. The game is over. I don't need people anymore.
I mean, okay, so everybody is going to have a place. It's going to take a long time before, right now,
yep,
less than 2% of the internet, of people that are online, are using AI.
Did
Less
you see
than 2%. Say that again.
You see what Max just put in the chat?
The estimate is 70% entry level jobs will be gone by 2040. Let's see. I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
However, I think that they should be. And I say that because our culture, the younger people that are coming up right now are not, I mean, there are many younger people that are coming up right now, not all, that are embracing what we're teaching about entrepreneurship, gig work. You know, they want to live their best life. They have got it. They've gotten it. They've gotten the whole thing of there is no loyalty. There is no work at a company for 30, 40, 50 years and retire and get your gold watch. No, they get that they can make more money in 1 hour and spend the rest of their day gaming or outside than they could to work a full day at an entry-level position.
Right, but don't you think that goes along with what Max just said? Those positions are going to be gone because no one's going to fill them, because people are going to be like, I'm not working for 40 grand a year. I'm not doing that. So don't you think those positions are going to go away? Whether or not it's because of AI 100%, but I think AI is going to play a big role in that. That's going to make it possible for people to not accept entry-level positions anymore. I actually think it's sooner than 2040, honestly.
I mean, they can't fill the entry-level positions now.
Right. So I think if Max had said 2035, I'd even believe that 100%.
Right. They can't fill them now. Now, there's always going to be some entry level. Now, it depends on what you mean by entry level.
Right.
So there's
Exact-
always going to be some entry level service worker jobs. Always. The thing about it is there's less and less people that are wanting to do them.
Right. I mean, think about now, even if you go to fast food, I don't even go to the counter anymore. I go to the kiosk. I just did it the other day at McDonald's. I went to the kiosk. I took my little tent, took my kid over the play area, put my table tent on there. Yes, someone delivered my food, but eventually that's not going to be a thing either. Have you been in, what store is that? Is it Target that has the little robots going around the store?
Yeah, big eyes.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Target. Does your robot have big eyes too? Like they put
Yes.
big. Yeah.
Cheryl, you had a look on your face. Have you not seen them yet?
I do not partake in Target.
Okay. So, and it's not only Target, there are other stores that there are robots in the store. So
If
eventually,
they will answer my question without giving me attitude, I'm all for it.
you see what I'm saying? If they can teach a Roomba vacuum to not hit the couch, they can teach it. Table 44 is the one in the back on the right.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be gone. I mean, I'm not even sure there was anyone working the front when I went in there the other day. There was no one standing up there. I mean, maybe they're instructed to not just stand there because there wasn't anyone going up there. Everyone was going to the kiosk.
Oh,
Right.
I go to the DoorDash restaurants all the time. They're actively encouraged not to interact with you to make you go to the kiosks and everything
Yeah.
else like that.
Wow.
Side Gig says it's already happened, Renee. There
Yeah.
are robots for restaurants that deliver food to tables.
You know what? Side Gig, I'm glad you said that. It wasn't Waffle House, it was Bob Evans last summer because the kids almost fell out of their chairs last summer. So I'm really glad. Thank you, Side Gig, for reminding me that. Last summer we were at Bob Evans and there was one floating around the store and we were like, what is that? I mean, and the kids were small, so they were like, I'm like, don't be scared, it's fine. And it came and had the trays. Absolutely right. So yeah, I mean, 2040 is a stretch. And someone could say, oh, well, the robots are going to break down. Being a mechanic is not a entry-level position. I can tell you that right now. To fix a robot, that's not an entry-level position. I can barely even put the right gas in my car sometimes. So that, you know what I mean? It takes skill to do these things.
Okay, I really need a robot at Walmart to balance my tires correctly.
Oh my gosh. Right?
Just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
The one down here needs a robot because the people don't know what they're doing.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
So, but I mean, it's coming. As for the artists, there are going to be people who are going to remain loyal to real artists, period. There are going to be things that certain artists can do that it'll take longer for a robot to do. Like, it can't be acrylic pours because I'm sure they can do acrylic pours, but there's going to have to be someone behind the ideas. You know what? I'm trying to think of something that someone does with their hands. I can't even say a painting because I'm pretty sure that you could train a robot to paint. It's not going to be as in depth now, but give it some time. But I mean, my only advice to that is, and I'm not saying this in a uppity kind of way or insensitive way, you're going to have to evolve. You're going to have to learn a new skill. Maybe you have time as an artist and you have a very creative mind. You can get involved with a company that can help train these systems to think like a creative person. You can do classes for people who want to use robots to do art. It sounds very crazy, but if you want to stay in the field, you're going to have to pivot, as we said a couple years ago. maybe you can train people to learn how to work with people who want to use robots for certain things. I mean, it is what it is. You're going to have to pivot a little bit.
Well,
It's
I mean, prompt engineering
yes.
is a skill set that companies are currently hiring for.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can get a hold of this whole AI thing right now,
Yep.
and we're already behind the curve.
Oh, we are super behind. Yeah.
However, we are still at enough of the beginning
Oh, yeah.
that we can jump in with both feet,
Yep.
catch up,
Yep.
really wrap our heads around what is going on.
Yep.
And like I said at the beginning of the call, find a way to build a business.
Yep.
Make a passive revenue stream, and then go live our best life.
Right.
You know, or if you want to work for a company, get in there, really understand how the prompts, how you have to word things in order to get all the things out of it. Like Renee was telling me earlier about building a prompt, and I have to explain to whichever system that I'm using who
Mhm.
I am in depth. That
Feed-
can take some soul searching too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, because if someone's like, oh, tell me about yourself, most people would say very surface level, oh, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I live in Maryland. Okay, that's not really what I asked you. Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, who you are, not what you do.
Right. Right. And I was just explaining myself. I'm not, making that sound like it's a negative thing, but a lot of people don't know. So they're going to have a hard time building prompts if they're not used to explaining things in detail.
Yes.
Like you said, if you get in and you get involved now, you'll be able to do it. Surround yourself. And we talked about this last week. Surround yourself, and you should be doing this with any goal, not only AI, but surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be. They can help you. You can learn from them. You can be like them. Obviously, always be like yourself. But if you see someone doing exactly what you want to do what they're doing, because what they're doing is working clearly. And then put your own spin on it, put your personality into it, whatever. But do the steps that you need to do in order to get to that place, as long as, you're not hurting other people.
And see, I think Max said something earlier. Now it just slipped my mind what I was going to say. Shoot. Okay, I'll have to come back to that. You said something and it reminded me of something that Max said earlier that
Okay.
I was like,
yeah.
It totally fit in, and now I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I mean, it's a growing field.
Yep.
We can totally get more out of it right now.
Yep.
And it can help us be better people.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that Skynet never happens. But maybe, just be polite to your robot and to your AI.
Right. That's what I was
They'll
saying.
They'll remember your politeness later.
Yeah. I always try to say please, thank you, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I'm definitely,
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I'll dedicate some time this week to taking a look at all of this for sure. And yeah, I'll definitely have something. Now, next week we have a guest, but she'll only speak for 30 minutes. I think we need to kind of.
I think that's a good, I think that I'm gonna, like, the guest that I've had on Wednesday, he kind of stops it at like 45 minutes. All right, we've been talking about this for 45 minutes. I think people are done, regardless of whether they're done or not.
Yeah, I still ask questions, but I get it.
So, but I like that. I like that, you know, we can have a guest on, or if it's, you know, on Renee's other podcast or my other podcast, you know, that we can have a guest on and kind of like do it like they're on for 30 minutes.
Mhm.
And then we still can have an ongoing week to week conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you guys have any questions? It's 101. I got a bunch of stuff to do today. So what are they teaching? Oh, next week's guest, her name is Michelle, and she actually owns a title company. She was introduced to me by Adam, who is our in-house mortgage extraordinaire. So we will have Adam back, but Adam introduced me to Michelle, who's going to teach us about title, which is great because I know that we talk a lot about AI and other side gigs, but some people, hopefully who are listening, want to have an end goal for this. What are you doing with all this money? You're making the extra money. You're making the extra money maybe to get by now, but if you start to make a lot of extra money, what are some of the smart things that you can do? And so we have Adam on. He talks about, you know, doing the investment properties and how to structure your mortgage and all that. And we'll have Michelle talk about title, which I think a lot of people get confused, like, oh, you own a title company. What exactly do you do? But if you ever get into flipping homes, doing foreclosures, and you run upon title issues, it's good to have some information like this in your pocket. Or something that I was doing a couple of years ago, buying tax deeds, which is a very inexpensive way to get into real estate. A couple $100, you can get into being a real estate investor. But if you get to the end of that process, you will need to foreclose on the home. And so you're going to need to have all of that title information and all. And I only did the research up to, okay, I'm going to research to make sure the home's actually there still. It was in a different state, so I couldn't drive by it, and purchase the tax lien. But if it came to where I actually needed to foreclose on the tax lien, I had no guidance at that point. So it's just a good way, once again, just make your money work for you. Have some information in your pocket. Maybe this is not anything that you've ever considered. So, yeah, that would be good. I would definitely ask AI a question about if you're considering getting into real estate, what are some things that you can do besides being a real estate agent or a mortgage loan originator? And I bet it would come up with a bunch of stuff, and then you can go from there. You could even maybe work in a title business and say, I, you know, want to get into title business, or what can I do if I have information about clearing a title? What can I do with that? That'd be a question I'd ask GPT. Chat-GPT, I would definitely ask, or even Claude. I'd ask Claude, how can I make this information work for me? You know what? Maybe we'll do that, and then, because I have to send her a couple questions. So maybe I can get some questions and say, how can we can make this work for us? And then next week we can touch on that. And they'll be from AI.
I like that.
Yeah.
Side Gig says, I felt stupid when I realized I was telling Chat-GPT, please. It is just a habit, so it's how I type naturally.
Yeah, no, that's not stupid. Well, you have manners, so don't feel stupid. It comes naturally to you.
Which is great because it doesn't come naturally to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like just in the beginning, how you said, it's a sounding board. You're talking to your friend. You would speak politely to your friend, so you're going to speak politely to Chatty, as we're going to call it from here on out. It's such a mouthful. You remember what you wanted to say. I
Yes.
see it. Yep.
So what you were talking about earlier, and then what Max said that he found out about the voice level, the response, the education level of the response, and having it either improve the response for a more educated person, or improve or improve the response for a younger individual or a less educated person or a what's the layman's terms, putting it
Yeah.
in layman's terms.
Yep.
So I like that it, you know, that's an option as well.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Sometimes I was writing an ad for someone and she said, really dumb it down. And I said, okay, so how can I say this nicely? And I think I worded it, write the ad from the perspective of, not that 17-year-olds are dumb, but in the perspective of a 17-year-old, and use very basic wording. And it was like I was talking to my 17-year-old. And be relatable. That's another common thing that I always like to say. Be very relatable. And then it's not so formal. And then, you know, you can add like a little story in there too, to just help with being relatable.
See, and this is where it goes. This is like my head is spinning with ideas now.
Yep. Yep.
I feel like I don't even, it's only been 3 days. And I feel
Mhm.
like my immediate response in my head is to first ask Chatty what the response is and then go on from there, because like someone said it too, is like he's like, I don't know about you, but when I talk to mentors or other people, I don't want to waste their time. So I curate my questions to be more efficient for them. So
Yeah.
sometimes you ask a question as wide as you want because you don't want the person to have to explain it all. But
Yep.
with this, you have like no issue with it.
Yep.
Like that's why I call it the abyss, because you go down one rabbit hole, you can find one word or one phrase, and that's you're off and running. So I
Yep.
think the time limit definitely has to be a big one. But
Yep.
that was
Time,
when I
everything.
started doing it. How can I spend more time on this? Was like one of my first responses, because I feel like it can it can cut out so many processes and save me so much time down the road.
Yeah.
Worth spending the time in the beginning.
Yep.
Now,
Absolutely.
everybody needs to remember, you can't just put stuff into Chatty or Claude or any of these things and whatever it spits out, you just run with. It's a process, and you have to edit, and you have to fact check. So don't just, let me get this disclaimer. Don't just run with whatever it says. Fact check it. Do your own homework.
Yep.
And I think it's like anything else. Like the people that are looking for that easy route are gonna try to get it and be upset because it's not the easy route. But like, it's a tool like any other. It just happens to be a nice advanced tool that we're at the forefront. And the fact that only 2% of people, I had no idea. But I'm glad you told me that, because like I'm literally trying to put everybody I know on it. Like, listen, just go try it out. Just because I'm pretty sure like it's so personalized, because everyone can ask the questions that they want that you'll automatically get hooked like after a couple of using it.
Some people are so hesitant they won't though, and that's okay. That's fine. You try to tell them. You try to tell them.
That I was thinking about the secretary thing when you said that. Like the only reason someone wouldn't do it is because like they're scared to try it. But in reality, especially now, like you get in. That's why too. Like I have a thing like I like to give money to anything that adds value to my life. So like, even if I don't go another month with the Chat-GPT, like I'm happy to give them the $20 at first, just like my contribution to improving my life. You know, I might be on Claude after this, but I don't know. But for now, I like doing that.
Yep, absolutely. That's great.
And I don't mind. I am. Renee was talking about, grouping yourself with like-minded people. And Max, you and I are in a group with like-minded people. Maybe not everybody is like-minded, but we're in a group with like-minded people. Renee and I are in a group with like-minded people. It's all about where you are at that point in your life. sometimes those groups will continue to benefit you and sometimes they won't.
Yep.
But you do what she was talking about. You get on there, you find people that are like-minded, you find people that are like-minded but ahead of where you are,
Right.
so
Right.
that you can do what they're doing and follow you. Otherwise you're going to stay stagnant.
You are.
You're never going to grow.
Right. And some people are okay with that, but that's not me, for sure.
No, not me either.
Yeah.
My brain is all over the place. I can't.
Nope. Oh, I haven't checked the YouTube comments in a second. Let me see. Oh, good talk, chat. Yep. Thank you. All right, friends. Does anyone else have any questions? I gotta hop off. I hope you'll all be back for next week, because we're gonna try to continue this conversation and actually use it in a real life with someone else who is in a very different industry than what we are talking about for every Tuesday call. So I'm very interested, and I'd like you to come back so you can hear all about it.
So you said she's a title manager, right?
She owns the title company. She's the owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to have some questions for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yep.
hit up all the AIs, ask it to give you some questions, and then pick, one or two of the best questions, and then we'll all have questions to ask.
Good. All right. Sounds good. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you everyone for being here. We appreciate you. And it's fun every week to get to talk about this stuff and just kind of have an open conversation.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Okay, guys.
Appreciate
See
all
you
of you.